Peso-Cost Averaging. Kaya sabi nga ng marami, it doesn't work. It doesn't work. 10 taon na eh. Di ba? So yan po yung ating dalamhati in this particular market movements. So we cannot fault people, we cannot fault our friends from losing their confidence. Yung mga nawawalan ng kumpiyansa, 5 taon sinubukan nila, hindi ganun kaganda. 10 taon na tinuloy nila, hindi pa rin ganun kaganda. So basically, where do we stand here? And as I've said, I'd really like to enlighten based on my own experience. Hello mga ka-RFF, this is again Rex Mendoza from Rampver Financials. I hope you're all doing well, staying healthy and primed for all of life's celebrations and challenges ahead. Alam nyo, today we're going to be having a very intriguing yet interesting topic. Alam nyo, kasi ang daming nagtatanong sa akin, tuloy-tuloy yan. Actually, in the past 2 to 3 years, pero this has all intensified even during this year. At ito po yung tanong na, how long-term is long-term? Alam niyo po, hindi natin masisisi ang ating mga kaibigan, hindi natin masisisi ang ating mga kapwa investors na parang nawawala na yata ng loob in the way their investments are going. They're getting frustrated and disappointed in the way their investments are performing. Specifically po, yung mga nasa stock market at naka-invest sa mga mutual funds. Di ba? Parang, Boss Rex, paano naman sinabi mo long term? Di ba long term na yon? Bakit hanggang ngayon wala pa ring nangyayari? So ito po, I'd really like to take this opportunity to discuss this topic head on. And again, ito po siguro may mga mag-agree at may mga mag-disagree. But all I'm saying is, I'll have to take it from my own personal experience. It is important that I'll get to draw from my own foray into investing, my real experiences all through the years. Kasi alam nyo naman po, I've been in this arena for the longest time. Medyo hindi lang po siguro isang dekada, multiple decades yan. So, ang aking perspective is a personal perspective. Maybe it can be a bit opinionated. Pero syempre, hahatak ako ng medyo mga kakampi na mabibigat na pangalan na binabalik-balikan ko rin. At ginagamit ko rin, personal confidence boosters pag ako ay nag-aalinlangan din. Kasi alam nyo, tao naman tayong lahat eh. Lahat yan nangyayari even for successful investors and even for all of us who are into the game as it is today. Alam nyo nga, hindi ko pa maalis. Medyo nagkakaroon pa ng mga konting biro, di ba? Ano ba talaga ang definition ng long-term investment? Alam nyo, kung hahatakin natin ang mga galing sa libro, usually, this is going to be defined in this particular fashion. Typically po, pag sinabi nating short-term investment, this should be 1 year and any term that is shorter. And basically, ang alam natin, syempre ang shortest term is the 30-day time deposit. Although institutions po can actually do 7 days or even overnight investing. Ngayon, anywhere higher than 1 year to 5 years should be medium term. And longer than 5 years is long term. Boss Rex, lampas na ng 5 years eh. In fact, 10 years na akong nag-iintay at umaasang makakabawi-bawi naman ang aking mga investments. Pero mukhang wala pa rin. Alam niyo, I cannot help it. I can really say without batting an eyelash, typically and generally, most Filipinos are really impatient. In fact, natatandaan ko po in my early years as a president of Philippine Asset Management, yung boss po namin na taga-AIG sa New York. Sabi sa akin, Rex, you're getting this all wrong. 1 year is not a long-term investment. I was telling him, actually for the Filipino, yung 1 year mahaba na yun. We're talking about the 1990s. 1990s po. Ang 90 days, napaka-long term na para sa marami. Buti nga ngayon, medyo ang horizon natin nagbago na at medyo humaba na talaga. But even then, people are questioning it. People are going back to their beliefs and their values with the way this length is going to be all about. And why is that? Why is that? Kasi po, kung makikita nyo naman ang ating chart talaga, this is a chart of 36 years from 1987 to current day. Makikita nyo po, in general, mukha namang umakyat. Pero maybe, not a lot of us have that kind of a perspective. Sabi ko nga po, ako naman, dekada na nag-i-invest. But many of us actually started 10 years ago. Alam niyo po, ang retail investor sa Pilipinas, yung talagang mga nag-invest into marketable securities such as stocks, funds, mutual funds. Karamihan po dyan talagang nag-grow ang numbers mula 2013. At ang karamihan po, ang exposure, ay hindi naman talaga all throughout this chart, but most probably between 2013 and 2023. Yun pong 10 years na yun. And the reality is, maraming nag-umpisang mag-invest thinking that their money would grow in 10 years or even a little over 5 years. And that is their horizon. At sabi nga ng marami, sila nga Peso-Cost Averaging pa eh. Ano nga ba po yung Peso-Cost Averaging? Di ba? It is a strategy of investing a specific amount in an investment of choice in regular periods or intervals. Ang ibig pong sabihin, consistent at pangmatagalan. Walang masyadong pagtingin sa market, invest lang ng invest. And many people consider this strategy as a very successful strategy. Pero parang natatanong yata natin lately, does this still work? Kasi kung titingnan nyo nga yung chart, balikan natin, kung kayo po ay nag-umpisa noong April 2013, ang ating index noon ay 7,074. Pero ngayon, hanggang end of May, na aking pong baseline, 6,600 po yung index. Abay, bumaba pa nga. Nitong kalahati na halos ng June, nandun pa din tayo sa 6,005 at bumaba pa nga, mas mababa sa 6,005 yung index. So, lumalabas, mahigit 10 years na, abay, lugi pa tayo. And if you're going to be looking at this particularly, kung kayo ay nag-peso-cost averaging, lahat po ng period na nasa ilalim ng pulang box na ito. Nung all of those lines, ibig sabihin, buwan-buwan naglalagay ka. Abay, lahat po yan underwater. Lahat yan nalulugi. Kasi that was a span of time when the line or the index was higher than the amount where it is today. Meaning, naglagay ka ng mas mataas, nalulugi pa yan ngayon. Ebe, napakarami pong puntos nito or months nito above that particular line. And if you're going to be looking at what is earning money, abay, yan lang po yung nasa ilalim na green box. So talagang, kumbaga, lampasong-lampaso in the amounts of time that you're earning money versus the amounts of time you're going to be losing money for these last 10 years if you did peso-cost averaging. Kaya sabi nga ng marami, it doesn't work. It doesn't work. 10 taon na eh. Di ba? So yan po yung ating dalamhati in this particular market movements. So we cannot fault people, we cannot fault our friends from losing their confidence. Yung mga nawawalan ng kumpiyansa, 5 taon sinubukan nila, hindi ganun kaganda. 10 taon na tinuloy nila, hindi pa rin ganun kaganda. So basically, where do we stand here? And as I've said, I'd really like to enlighten based on my own experience. The first thing I'd really want to do is to delineate ano ba itong strategic investing at tactical investing. Kasi po, kung tayo'y patawid-tawid sa dalawang ideas na yan, we will always be frustrated. We will always be disappointed. Ano ba strategic investing? It is long-term, it's goals-based investing. Ang ating pong horizon sigun or matched with the goals that we have. So if we're going to be looking at retirement, for example, dapat ang ating retirement date ang ating target. So tanong ko nga sa marami kong kaibigan na nalulungkot, na bagsak pa yung market, ang tanong ko, bakit? Retired ka na ba? Di ba nag-i-invest ka continuously for your retirement? Masama loob mo dahil mababa ang market. Pero, retired ka na ba o magre-retire ka na soon? Medyo hindi yata ganun ang usapan, hindi ba? Kasi ang totoo, if you're into strategic investing at malapit ka na mag-retire, dapat wala sa stock market ang karamihan ng pera mo. Dapat nakasecure ka na sa bond na kikita ka ng consistent na fixed rate na interest or income para hindi ka at risk. So hindi strategic ang iyong portfolio management. Dapat ang nakalagay sa stocks at growth mutual funds yung lampas-lampas pa doon sa horizon na iniisip mo. O baka naman talagang frustrated ka lang kaya binabalikan mo. Which means, kailangan aminin natin sa sarili natin, hindi pa naman ako retired eh. So kailangan ituloy ko to. I have to keep the faith because this is my long-term view. I am into strategic investing. Pero karamihan kasi nagsuswitch sa tactical investing. Sayang. Kung hindi ko pala nilagay ang pera ko na nakataling long-term, dapat pala nakataya ako sa pag-akyat at pagbaba ng market. Yan po ang problema ng marami. We switch into tactical investing. We get into an analysis where we miss out on short-term trends-based investing. Kasi nga sabi nga ng marami, yun ang nawawala pag nagpe-Peso-Cost Averaging ka eh. Nasasayang yung opportunity. Dapat nagamit mo yung pera para dito sa mga ibang investment na gumagalaw, umaakyat baba. Dapat nakapag-take opportunity ka. You know, if you live your life like that, if you invest like that, let me tell you what's gonna happen. You're going to be always frustrated and disappointed. Kasi magpapabalik-balik ka dyan. Alam nyo, ang solusyon is to have money or portfolio for strategic investing, matching your goals, and optimizing a little bit by getting into tactical investing. That's not exactly goals-based. Ano ibig sabihin nun? Ito, kailangan nito tactical para pag kumikita ka na dito, lumalaki ito, paunti-unti ilalagay mo uli sa strategic. Pero ito, hanggang dito kasi pag ito may masamang nangyari, nandun pa din yung portfolio mo for your long-term goals in strategic investing. Kasi ito po, as my good friend Edward Lee will say, you will always earn money. Pero isang pagkakamali lang, isang guhit lang, burado ka. So let us not say that this is what we're gonna use. Tactical investing is what you're gonna use to fulfill your lifelong dreams and ambitions. Mahirap po yan. Nilalagay natin sa medyo mas higher level of risk ang ating mga pangarap, ang ating mga iniisip at tinitingala para sa ating mga mahal sa buhay. So the key is to have both. The key is to have optimization, pero kailangan talagang may pang-strategic. Alam niyo, tatapatin ko kayo, yan ang pinakamalaking problema. Yung papalit-palit tayo ng isip, talagang yung umpisa, patient tayo, mag-strategic investing. Tapos, maiinggit. May kumikita doon. Dapat doon ko ilagay. Pag nalugi, paano naman yun? Kailangan kong makumpleto pa rin at mahit ang aking long-term goals. Sabi nga ng marami, iba talaga ang definition ng Filipino eh. How do you define a long-term investment? Alam niyo po, napakarami kong kaibigan, sasabihin ko sa inyo, ang totoong definition ng long-term investment is a short investment that failed. Ganun po. Pag naglagay sa tactical investing, tapos nalugi, abay long-term na yan. Diba? Nakakatuwa pong sabihin, pero totoo yan. Marami pong nag-aambisyong quick buck. Tapos pag naipit, by long term na. Kaya po, nagkakamali tayo in our real perspective and mindset in this financial journey. So I wish that you take a look at your portfolio allocation, you take a look at what you want to accomplish in your financial journey. As I've said, kami po sa Rampver, makakatulong kami dyan. Ask for us. We will have advisors for you who can help you along this journey. Pero bumalik tayo. Alam nyo, ang sagot dyan sa pag-akyat baba ng market, tapos 10 taon na wala pang nangyayari, ibabalik ko po yung quotation ni Benjamin Graham. As I've said, kukuha po tayo ng mga rest back na mabibigat na tao. So, it's not just me, it's not just my opinion, but my standpoint that has been shaped by these great people. Remember, Benjamin Graham is the idol of another idol, Warren Buffett. Si Benjamin Graham po ang nagbigay ng foundation sa galing ni Warren Buffett sa pag-i-invest ngayon. At anong sabi ni Benjamin Graham? Mr. Market does not always price stocks the way an appraiser or a private buyer would value a business. Instead, when stocks are going up, he happily pays more than their objective value. And if they are going down, he is desperate to dump them for less than their true worth. Si Mr. Market daw po, medyo sumasabay ng malakas sa pag-agos ng investments. Pag umaakyat, abay bumabayad ng mas mataas. Pag bumababa, abay nagdadump kahit gaanong kamura, basta makalabas lang. Mr. Market is our market today, in the past, and in the future. We will have to take advantage of the irrationality and emotional nature of Mr. Market. Pag siya po ay irrational at bumibili ng wala sa value or sa presyo, abay dapat po pag-take advantage tayo. And that is how money is really made over the long term. That is how money is really made over the long term. Kasi po ngayon, we're beset with a lot of this uncertainty, volatility, complexity, and ambiguity na discuss po natin yan napakaraming beses. Our VUCA world, laced by the COVID-19 pandemic na parang hindi pa tapos hanggang ngayon. The Russia-Ukraine war that set forth supply chain problems in the world, spiraling inflation, rising interest rates, and geopolitical tensions. These are the flavors of the month and the flavors of the year or of the past 2 to 3 years. Tanong, magbabago ba po ang mga ito? And the answer is yes. At pag nagbago ang mga ito, magbabago ba ang confidence at ang timpla ng markets or ng investors in the markets? Obviously po, the answer again is yes. Pero tingnan nyo, ano ba talaga ang binibili natin sa merkado? Like let's say we invest in stocks. What do we really buy? We buy companies. In fact, we buy companies and their propensity to earn money. Their propensity or capability to earn money. Kaya po tayo nag-i-invest sa mga kumpanya dahil gusto nating makibaka sa kanilang kita. So look at what's happening today. Ito po, gumawa lang tayo ng konting comparison ng mga kumpanya sa ating merkado. How much are they earning for the first quarter of this year? And kinumpara ko po yan sa earnings nila last year. Tapos, kinumpara ko din sa earnings nila noong 2019, pre-COVID. Ayan po earnings versus last year and earnings versus pre-COVID, which was 2019. Tingnan nyo po ito. Ayala Corporation, 9.4 billion ang kinita noong first quarter. That is 62% higher than 2022 and 117% of their 2019 earnings. So ang tanong, nakabawi na ba po sa pandemic yan? Abay, mukhang klarong-klaro. At napakalaki ng kinikita ngayon. Buitis Equity Ventures, 44% increase over last year. From 3.2 billion, abay ngayon nasa 4.6 billion. And this is 119% of their earnings in 2019. So again, like Ayala Corporation, nakabawi na po sila doon sa pinakamataas na kita nila pre-pandemic. Same is true for GT Capital, 65% over last year and almost double already of what they have earned in 2019, 190%. Jollibee, paborito natin yan. Alam nyo ba po, ang tinaas ng kita, 263%. From 419 million lang sila first quarter of last year to 1.5 billion this year. Bakit po? Dati sarado eh. Napakaraming sarado. Bukas sarado tayo noong 2022 eh. May mga Omicron variant. Ngayon pong 2023, bukas na tayo araw-araw. Kaya naman, bawi na sila also against 2019 earnings at 124%. Meralco, from 6 billion, naging 9 billion na, 40% over 2022. And now, 162% off their earnings in 2019. SM Investments, 35% po over the first quarter of last year. And 164% of their income pre-pandemic. So, conglomerates po ito. It's a very diversified set of businesses under these conglomerates. At pag sila po ay kumikita ng ganyan, siguro naman ang breadth ng economy talagang maganda din. Pero fino-focus ko po dito yung mga bangko kasi kung matatandaan nyo, when I was asked, sino ba ang kikita ng malaki sa pagtaas ng inflation at pagtaas ng interest rate? Sabi ko, di ba, tayaan natin ang mga bangko. That was middle part of last year when I said this. Tingnan nyo ngayon, no? Sila po ang namamayagpag. Banco de Oro, 41% over last year, 169% pre-pandemic. Banco Philippine Islands, from almost 8 billion lang, ngayon 12 billion na, 52% higher than 2022 and 180% of 2019 earnings pre-pandemic. Metrobank at 31% growth over 2022 and 155% of 2019 earnings. And lastly, even po mas maliit-liit na bangko pero the centerpiece of the digital effort in banking, Union Bank of the Philippines at 30% growth over last year and 154% of their 2019 earnings. So, kung ang pagbili ng stocks ay pagbili ng mga kumpanya at ang pagbili ng mga kumpanya ay pagpakas sa kanilang kikitain, bakit po hindi reflective ang mga kinikita nito sa mga presyo nila sa merkado? Mababa pa po ang kanilang presyo. And this is the result of Mr. Market. The irrationality and maybe the emotions of Mr. Market. And this can be a signal for an opportunity for many of us. Ang sabi nga po ni Warren Buffett, successful investing takes time, discipline, and patience. No matter how great the talent or effort, some things just take time. Ito po, cute na cute ito. You cannot produce a baby in 1 month by getting 9 women pregnant. Diba? May mga bagay po na talagang intayin natin. Hindi mo pwedeng i-outsource ng isa-isang buwan tapos magkakaroon ka ng isang bata. Talagang kailangan pagdaanan mo yung 9 months. And for markets, this can mean over 10 years. This can mean a really long time. But the key is what you do in that long time. Sabi ng iba, unprecedented dito, Rick, sobrang haba na eh. Oops. Teka lang. Sabi ko nga po medyo yung haba ng experience ko, medyo kakaiba. And that's the reason why I use this 36 years. Kasi yan naman talaga yung span of time na nag-i-invest tayo. Actually, mas mahaba pa nga dahil I started earlier than that. It's just that wala na po sa chart na makuha sa internet eh. But take note of this. From 1987 July to Feb 2003, wala rin pong nangyari. 1,028 ang index noong July 1987. Pero noong February 2003, 1,007. So lugi pa din. And this is a span of not 10 years, not 13 years, but 16 years. So kung nahahabaan kayo, walang nangyari sa 10 years, walang nangyari sa 5 years, dati nga, 16 years eh. Ngayon, sasabihin nyo, baka naman kasi pinili mo. Talagang pinili kasi yun nga pinili din naman natin yung 2013 to 2023, hindi ba? So humanap tayo ng part ng chart na ganun din. And true enough, yung unang 16 years ng chart na to, talagang walang nangyari. Talagang walang nangyari. And if you're going to look at it the same way, lahat ng nag-peso-cost averaging, nalulugi rin because the points higher than that line would be a lot more than the points below that line. And again, ang ipupush na naman natin na idea is that peso-cost averaging doesn't really work. But we get to miss out on something really, really important. Ang sabi ni Warren Buffett again, rest back natin, big time The stock market is a device for transferring money from the impatient to the patient. Ang stock market daw po, device na naglilipat ng pera mula sa mga impatient to the patient. And I saw this all throughout time. I really saw this all throughout my journey as an investor. In fact, sinasabi ko nga po, ni-reverse ko ng konti, dinagdagan ko yung quotation ni Joyce Meyer kasi sinasabi niya, we have to have a good attitude while being patient. It's not just being patient. It's a good attitude while being patient. Ngayon, in-extend ko po yan. Ang sabi ko, and I will share this with you, this is very important in investing. Patience is not simply the ability to wait. It is the capacity to have optimism and enthusiasm while waiting. Dapat excited pa rin tayo. Dapat optimistic and enthusiastic tayo while waiting. Because opportunities abound. And when opportunities abound, that is the time to pounce. At pag tayo po ay nagkaroon ng despondency, capitulation, we will not act. We will be scared. We will be pushed back at a time when opportunities are all out there. But if you have the optimism and the enthusiasm to push further, then you will commit more and you will put yourself in a better place when markets recover. Kasi po, tingnan natin, pinili natin yung 2 points na yun, 2013 to 2023, 10 years. Sinabi natin, meron ding 16 years from 1987 to 2003. So ang nagkalimutan, ang hindi nakikita ng marami, yung 2003 hanggang 2013. February 2003 to April 2013. That's a span of 10 years. Alam nyo nangyari sa market? Times 7. Hindi percentage, multiple times 7. So, kung nag-invest ka, nalugi ka, huminto ka dahil hindi ka nga patient at nawalan ka ng kumpiyansa, ayaw mo na. Bumawi yung market times 7. Tapos, after nag-times 7 yung market, saka ka na naman tumapang, bumalik ka na naman. O yan ang problema. Pahihintayin ka na naman ng another 10 years. Ito pong chart na ito, and the way we define these points, this will show you why strategic investing is time in the market. That is the reason why this quotation of time in the market in strategic investing is very important. If you have been there 36 years at doon ka nag-dollar or peso cost averaging, abay, mas maraming points ang kumikita ka kesa nalulugi ka. So maybe you have an idea about how I'm doing with my strategic portfolio. Well, malungkot tayo dahil hindi pa nga bawi yung market, pero tingnan nyo naman dyan yung mga points na nag-invest tayo nung una-unang panahon, na nauna-una tayo, na kumikita din naman. And with the optimism and enthusiasm that this 10 years of 2003 to 2013 will happen again. It will. Hindi ba? So kailangan po Doon natin kinukumpara at pag tayo ay nasa tactical investing, it is timing the market. Yung akyat baba, yan, gagawa natin ng paraan para tayo'y makisali at kumita. Pero ang tanong, do you have the time for that? Do you have the skill for that? Do you have the money for that? If your answers are no, don't dabble into it. Malulugi lang po kayo. Mas maganda pa, mag-strategic investing ka na lang and remain patient with it and confident at the wrong time for many. Time in the market. Timing the market requires work, requires constant research, requires constant value creation. Kung hindi po tayo kasing galing nila Edward Lee, kung hindi tayo kasing galing ng ATR Asset Management, diba dapat bigay na lang natin yung pera sa kanila, doon na lang tayo makibaka sa kanila para kumita na lang tayo sa galing nila. Hindi na tayo kailangan maging abala kagaya nila. Hindi ba? Yan po ang importanteng isipin natin. So balikan natin to. Isipin nyo kung ako nag-dollar or peso-cost averaging mula nung 1987 hanggang ngayon. May lugi akong posisyon. Lahat ng luging posisyon nandun sa mas mataas na mga points from where the market is today. So yung pulang yan na nakikita nyo sa taas, lahat ng points dyan sa linyang yan, lugi tayo. Lahat ng perang nilagay natin on a monthly basis. Pero yung nakakapture ng green box sa baba, lahat ng posisyon that is below the index as it rests today, all of those are earning money. So, in my perspective, Peso-Cost Averaging works. But I have to look at a horizon of 36 years. Tanong, retired na ba ako? Di pa. So, bakit ako masyadong magtititingin dyan? Kailangan ituloy ko pa dahil kahit sabihin mong 36 years is such a long time, I am not going back and fulfilling my goals and dreams as yet. I'm still within the journey. I'm still doing it and in the grind as a matter of fact. Pero ito pong napakaganda. Nag-all-time high yung market eh. Tingnan nyo itong chart na to. Nag-all-time high yung market noong January 26, 2018. At that time, 9,041 yung index. So, just in case gusto nyong imagine, nag-all-time high yung market, nandun tayo sa araw na yon, January 26, 2018. So lahat po ng nag-peso-cost averaging, walang lugi. Lahat ng tinayaan from all through time in the past up till that all-time high, lahat po yan kumikita. So walang lugi. So in this particular perspective, lalong-lalo na in this particular perspective, peso-cost averaging really works. And peso-cost averaging smashes all the other investment approaches and propositions. So ang tanong ko po sa marami, palagay nyo ba ang merkado natin dadating uli sa isang all-time high? Di ba? The logical answer is always yes. Ang problema lang, hindi natin alam kailan. Ano mangyayari? Mangyayari. Hindi lang natin alam kung kailan. At pag nangyari yung oras na yon, nangyari yung araw na yon, lahat ng posisyon natin kumikita. Lahat ng pagbaba ng market, nasa ilalim ng all-time high na yon. At ano mangyayari sa marami? Magpapasalamat dahil they kept their optimism and enthusiasm in the time that they needed to be patient. Pero, mas marami pong mag-iisip ng ganito. Sayang, sana, tinuloy ko. Marami pong ganun. Marami ang nasa huli ang pagsisisi. So, if you really believe that that day will come, a real all-time high all over again, then you should be able to continue the strategy with utmost optimism and enthusiasm. I quoted this in my book. I told a lot of people, you don't go to the Empire State Building to enjoy the view when the elevator mistakenly takes you to the basement. Sumakay po kayo ng elevator eh. Pero imbes na umakyat, bumaba sa basement. Doon ba kayo maghahanap ng view? Hindi kayo doon maghahanap ng view. Madilim na parking lot yun eh. Hihintayin nyo yung elevator umakyat sa top floor. You will wait for that elevator to reach the top deck so you can marvel at the spectacular view. Hintayin natin. Dadating yun eh. Doon tayo maghanap ng view. Ang karamihan sa atin, hanap ng view while we are at the basement. Kaya lalong nawawalan ng kumpiyansa, lalong nawawalan ng lakas ng loob. And again, I will have to bring it forth, and this can really hurt a lot of people. This can be straight up your face, ika nga po. Because this is a quote I'd like to say today at this bad time. For investors who are aspiring to achieve long-term objectives and are now in a period of accumulation and investment, would you rather have low or high prices for equities and mutual fund shares today? So why be disappointed with the lackluster market? Aren't you supposed to be happy that you can build up your portfolio at bargain prices? Ba't po tayo hanap ng pagtaas ng market ngayon? Eh di ba nag-iipon ka pa? Nag-i-invest ka pa eh. Dapat happy nga tayo na mababa. Makakapag-ipon tayo ng mura. At pag tayo magtutupad na ng ating investment goals and dreams and aspirations, doon sana mataas ang market para maganda ang ating kita. Hindi dapat tumaas ang market habang nag-iipon ka eh. Dapat tumaas ang market pag ikaw ay nandun na sa dulo ng iyong investment journey. When you're matching your goals with what you've done and labored in your past. Karamihan sa atin, parang mali ang pag-iisip, baliktad eh. Gusto mo nang umakyat yung market ngayon, so nag-iipon ka, gusto mong mataas. So mababa ang number of shares na mabibili mo. Mababa ang magiging position mo in the market. So umakyat man yung market later, ang liit ng diferensya. Samantalang habang mababa at nag-iipon ka, nakakabili ka ng bargain prices. So years from now, when you're about to realize your dreams, and that's when the market is high, that is when your earnings get into multiples. So isipin po natin ng tama. Minsan, it's not the market. It is all about us, our perspectives, and the way we put things in place that will actually determine behavior. In the end po, money is really behavioral. And I hope that this video has given you quite a boost in your confidence and in your optimism for your investments and your investment portfolio. Para po sa mga hindi pa subscribe sa aming channel, sana naman po ay mag-subscribe kayo and hit that bell button para po kayo ay maabisuhan namin sa aming mga future videos. Sana po ma-share din natin ito sa ating mga kaibigan, lalo na doon sa mga nawawala na ng kumpiyansa at optimism sa kanilang investments. It is very important that we keep ourselves within that journey, keep ourselves at the peak of our confidence and commitment to our future, not just for ourselves, but for our loved ones. Again, ito pong muli si Rex Mendoza ng Rampver Financials. Nagpapasalamat sa inyo at sa inyong pagtangkilik sa aming videos at channel. Blessings po always.